Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Hello traders, good morning and welcome to London Session Open. Last week was eventful. We finally saw the government reopen in the US, but there were some unpleasant surprises, such as that the data from October might never be released because they lost too much time to recover the numbers. But I think we might see a September NFP this week. Let's get to it. Let's go to the weekly high impact news calendar and see what we have this week. First of all, we start with Monday, which is today. We only had one number that has already been released. The previous reading for it was the GDP in Japan. So it was the quarterly GDP, and the previous reading was at 0.6%. The forecast was a contraction of 0.6%. So it came in slightly better than expectations, with also a contraction at 0.4%, minus 0.4%, yes. So this number means that the growth is negative in Japan. So the economy is not expanding, it's contracting. All right. So but the forecast is the forecast was a contraction of 0.6%. It came in less than that at 0.4%, and that's pretty much it for today. We didn't have anything. The Japanese yen, let me check what happened. It's weakening as it should. Now let's move to good morning to you too. Now let's move to the next one. We don't have anything on Tuesday, so we move right to Wednesday. Wednesday, November 19th, we have the CPI number coming from UK. The previous was 3.8. The forecast is 3.6. So the inflation numbers are still high in the UK. The target is at 2%. It's not only in the UK, everywhere else, the target is at 2% inflation. So the previous reading was at 3.8%. They're expecting a decrease in CPI numbers, which is the inflation numbers. So if this comes lower than expectations, we might see bearishness on the GBP. If it comes in higher, it means that they will need to keep rates higher to fight this inflation, and it would be positive or bullish for the GBP, because it makes GBP more attractive because it pays higher interest. Good morning to you too. Okay, so what else do we have? Next, we have CPI from the Eurozone. So the previous was 2.1%. The forecast is a tick up to 2.2%. So it is expected that the inflation would rise in the Eurozone to 2.2%. Now, if this comes lower than expected, that might be very bearish for the euro. If it comes in higher than expected, or the forecast, it might be even more bullish for the euro. Now, that's fundamentally speaking. Now we'll move to the charts shortly and discuss all of that. Next, we have the crude oil inventories coming from the US. The previous number was a big surplus in the inventory of 6.413 million barrels. If it comes in higher than this, we might see more bearishness on the oil prices. If it comes in lower than expected, it means that demand started to tick up on oil, and we would see some bullishness on oil prices. All right. By the way, excuse my voice. I'm a little bit sick, so I know I sound a little bit off. Then finally, on Wednesday, we have the FOMC meeting minutes. That's for their past meeting, the last meeting they had. Those are the minutes. So we'll see what extra information that has, but I believe there will be no extra because the statement has it like we saw the statement last meeting, and I think it will be just summarizing the statement of the FOMC. So no big deal. I don't expect to see high volatility because the Fed does not surprise the markets like in a meeting minute release. No, they would just like say it and lay it out in the statement. Okay, so that's for Wednesday. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right, we move to Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday we have the average hourly earnings. That's for September. So this number was pulled out of the calendar last month because it was supposed to be like on the first Friday of October, but since the government was shut down, no agencies were open. So that's why we did not get this number. Hopefully on Thursday they're planning to release it, so that's good. Then we have the NFP, non-farm payrolls, for September as well. Guys, be mindful of those numbers are not for October. Those numbers are for September, so the month before. Okay, because like during the whole month of October, the government was shut down, so they didn't have any numbers, but they had the numbers up until the end of September. That's why we're seeing like the plan to release those numbers. Okay, so the previous reading at the NFP for the NFP was 22,000. Let's see how the actual numbers come in. And now the next we have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. The previous was minus 12.8. The forecast is minus 1.4, so an improvement, but like a higher than expected reading would be positive for the USD. Then we have, of course, we have the unemployment rate. So the previous reading was at 4.3%. Okay, great. Thank you. Back to the calendar. So the unemployment rate, the past number was 4.3%. So if that comes higher than 4.3%, we might see some bullishness on the USD, because that means that the Fed, or sorry, if it comes in higher than the previous, if it comes in, for example, at 4.4, that's bad for the jobs market. So it means bearishness for the dollar. They will need to cut rates to boost the labor's market. If it comes in lower, that would be bullish for the USD. All right. And then we have the existing home sales. The previous was 4.06. The forecast is no change at 4.06 for the month of October. So if it comes in higher, it means that like the economy is still moving and all good, which would be bullish for the dollar. If it comes in lower than expected, that would mean that demand is slowing, and that might need the Fed to start cutting rates, which would be bearish for the USD. Okay. All right. Let's move to Friday. All right. So on Friday we have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI and the Global Services PMI. So we have both numbers, services and manufacturing. The previous reading for the manufacturing number was 52.5. So if it comes in higher than this, anything above 50 is expansionary, of course. But if it comes in higher than 52.5, that would signal a strengthening in the manufacturing sector. That's for the manufacturing PMI. But as for the services PMI, it's also like a strong number. We saw the last reading was 54.8, and the last reading we saw on those numbers, we saw like a slowdown in manufacturing sector and a growth in services sector. So they're both above 50, so which is expansionary, but services outperformed manufacturing the past release. So let's see how this number turns out to be. If it comes in higher, that would be positive for the US dollar and the economy. If it comes in lower, that would be negative for the USD and the US economy. All right, so that's it for the calendar. Let's now move to the charts. Let's move now to the charts. So as you saw, guys, we might be seeing some, like, finally some news releases that were postponed because of the government shutdown. We might start seeing some of those this week, which is very good news. And now we start with the DXY as always. Let me share my screen 1 second. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay. So what do we have here? Let's check the weekly candle. You know what? Let me start with the monthly. Let me see the monthly. Last month it closed very bullish, and we expected to see it like correct before continuing the uptrend, since this is a bullish reversal candle, which is the engulfing candle. So we saw it retrace or correct last week, but it's still within the bullish territory. Let's go to the weekly. Weeks too bullish, so we might be going to this area, which is 98.7, which is not very far from here, but that would like affect the markets somehow. Okay, we move now to daily. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily. On the daily, we have something called the fan principle, and it's very obvious here. So the fan principle basically is a trend reversal. It's a tool that confirms a trend reversal. So how do we use that? We use that as follows. We had this trend line. Okay, so this is trend line number 1. Then we broke above this trend line, and we started trending from outside the trend line. So we draw another one to connect this top with this, just in case this has become the new slope for the downtrend. Then it broke above and reached here. Okay, so the only thing, so we draw another line. So the fan principle is based on drawing 3 lines. If it breaks 3 lines, so far it broke this one and this one. We broke 2 lines. One more line, if it breaks this and closes above, we have 3 higher lows and 3 higher highs, which would confirm the reversal in the DXY path, and we would see a climb to the upside, or like we would start seeing positivity on the USD. So basically, we need to see it break above 100.5. So 100.5 points is a very important level. You know what? Let me place an alert here, because once that is broken, we'll start seeing like quicker jumps on the DXY. Okay. 1 second, please. All right. So on the daily, we saw Friday. Let me zoom in. We saw it trying to break below on Friday, but it got rejected and closed somehow bullish. And today, when the market opened, we saw it breaking the highs of Friday, which is also a bullish sign. Let's take a look at this. If we draw a trend line here, yes, we have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We're still good. We're like respecting the slope. So we're still good. We're still bullish. So I expect the DXY to go above this and break above this zone, which is the 100.5 or 100.4, something around that number. Okay, so we look at the 4 hours and we saw that it got rejected from a very important level, which is the 200-day moving average. This is it, the black line. It tried to break it once, it couldn't, it got rejected, tried again, couldn't, also got rejected from it to the upside. But we're still in the danger territory. It might keep going down, but we need to see. Okay, so now it might be retesting the downtrend line for this minor movement from the outside, and we might see it do this. Let me draw it. We might see it do something like this. Okay, so but let's wait and see because it's too early to decide now. That's for the DXY. Let's now move to Euro USD. Okay, we go to the monthly. By the way, for those of you who watch my streams regularly, I told you I'm placing a sell order here on Euro USD, which is at 1.1650. So this one got filled on Friday. All right. So the exact opposite, we had a bearish engulfing here. So we went and retested half of this, or we corrected to half of this engulfing candle. On the weekly, also the exact opposite of the XY. We saw it close 2 consecutive weeks bullish. Okay, and now we started the week somehow like weak, but it still has room to go to retest 1.1650 again, and maybe 1.1670. So after that, we might start seeing it drop. But as I told you, excuse me, guys, let me just drink some water. Okay. Okay, so I was reading some of your messages. Thank you, Abdullahi. And you need some analysis on GJ. We will do that, no problem. Hello, Sniper Entry. All right. So let's go back to the Euro USD. So I was saying that if the DXY decides to go and retest the 98.7 level, we might see the Euro USD go to 1.1670. But if the DXY decided to keep going up from here, we might see the Euro USD start going down from here. All right, so that's that for the Euro USD on the weekly. Let's check the daily. Now, the daily time frame, we also saw on... No, actually, it got filled not on Friday, it got filled on Thursday. Yeah. It retested the same level on Friday, but got rejected from it. And now we want to see it close below 1.16. This daily candle, today's candle, already broke the low of Friday's low, Friday's candle, sorry. So I want to see it close below this area, which is below 15.5. Like for a start, I want to see it close below 1.16. Preferably, and a lot better if it closes below 1.1550. If that happens, the next target will be at 1.14. If this one gets broken, I think the big drop will start to materialize, and we will start to see euro drop really bad. Yeah, so that's for euro on the daily time frame. Let me check the 4 hours. 4 hours is also trying to like retest. Maybe let me draw it for you. It's trying to retest this minor trend line from the outside. So at around 1.1625. Maybe after it does, it will go down and target the 1.14. But for now, nothing much to look for. Okay. Okay, now we move to, you know what, instead of analyzing GBP and USD JPY, I'm thinking to analyze GJ, just like right from the start. But let me take a quick look. Let me see the how the week closed on GBP. Yeah, so it closed bullish. So we expect it to reach this area or retest this area, which is 1.33, before going down, which aligns with our analysis on Euro and USD. Okay, so it might break this level. You know what? Not really. It might just keep going down from here, because we are now at a trend line, a very important trend line. Because as you can see, we have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and now we are at the same slope of the trend line, which is the 20-day moving average. So we might see a reversal from here, or a rejection from this area. If not, we will see it go back up towards the 1.33, as I told you on the higher time frame. But for now, we might see some bearishness on the GBP/USD, which, as I told you, also aligns with the previous analysis. We move now to USD/JPY. As I told you, like they had like slightly positive, or not positive, less bad, less worse. I don't know the right word, English barrier here. So it was a less worse surprise, or for the Japanese growth, the economy growth. They expected a contraction of 0.6%. It came in at minus 0.4%. So it's a little bit better than expected, but it's still bad. That's why we saw the USD JPY going up. Now, why is this very important to understand, guys? Because some people will look at the economic calendar and see the release in green, and decide, you know what? Yes, I need to be buying JPY now, because the release is actually positive. But it's not positive. It's it's less bad than the forecast, but it's not positive. That's why we saw the JPY or the USD JPY go up, which means the JPY is weakening. All right. So I expect more upside on the USD JPY. We might be seeing 157.5 very soon. On the daily, it's also still bullish. Let me check the 4 hours. Yeah. It's still the USD JPY is bullish, which confirms the analysis on other pairs. Now let's move to GJ. Now, as per the analysis, we should see some bullishness on this pair, right? Okay. So last week we closed very bullish, yeah. And I said this before seeing the chart, because it has to make sense. It has to be this way, all right? If you use common sense, then if you see the USD JPY going up and GBP USD going up, then it means that the GJ must go up. It's mathematics. It has to connect. All right. Now let's move to daily. Okay, on the daily, still very good, clean uptrend going up. At least we have 3 higher highs, 3 higher lows here, which confirms the uptrend. I'm expecting it to keep going up. We saw a strong rejection from this area, which is 202.3. Now I'm expecting it to reach 204.6 as a first target, and then let's see where it's going. And then the next target should be 207. All right, that's for GJ. Do you have any expectations on the idea? 2 weeks ago, the number is not impacted yourself according to the release. Okay, let me read this out loud. Someone is asking, do I have any expectation or idea on the crude oil inventories? Um, to be honest, I cannot predict how much oil they will have in the inventory, but what we can do is look at the charts and see that the oil prices are still under pressure, which means that demand um, is not keeping up with supply. Supply is overpowering demand, which means that the prices will remain under pressure. Okay. Uh, look at gold. We will look at gold. Yes, of course. Yeah. All right. Now it's time to move to everyone's favorite, which is the gold. Okay. So unfortunately, on Friday, like at some point on Thursday, I was very like I was in profit more than 1 to 1, and then suddenly on Friday it went back down to my entry. Even like I went slightly in the negative on Friday, and then it closed above. But that was a very big drop on Friday because the Fed made a statement that there might be no cuts in December, rate cuts in December, which was good for the dollar and bad for everything against the dollar. Plus, the government reopened. Like this lessened the uncertainty in the markets, and we saw people moving their money outside of gold and moving to the stock market, especially the Dow Jones, because and last week the Dow Jones, by the way, hit a fresh all-time high. So we started seeing a rotation. So people are moving money from gold and safe havens to riskier assets. But I heard something today in the morning that um, China is secretly buying gold, which confirms my overall view of gold going up to new all-time highs, to new all-time highs at around 4,700. Okay, but okay. So last week closed somehow bullish, not as bullish as I want it to be, but it's bullish, still bullish. So we're good. The daily on Friday closed bearish, but it did not close outside the bands, which is also like a good sign. It's not very bearish, so that's good. And we started the day positively. Uh, so it closed, tried to retest the lows. It couldn't break Friday's low and got rejected from there. And we saw it going up, and now we're at 4092 or $4,092. Now we have two scenarios for gold. As always, we have also like we always have two scenarios for everything. The first scenario, which I don't think will happen, but we need to have it, is that this was the first leg of the correction, and this was the second leg of the correction, and now we might be going for this, which is a correction to this area, which is 3,600, 3,700. But that's a very unlikely scenario to happen, but it's still a possibility. Like it's a like there's a 20% chance that this will happen. So we have to keep it in mind because we don't trade, we don't just like stick to our biases no matter what. We need to be fluid with the market. So that's the first scenario. The second one is that we got a rejection from here and we saw a failure swing as I described last week. We saw a failure swing, and this was nothing but a retest to the swing level, which was here. So we broke above here, and we kept going up from that level. All of this was just a correction to retest the swing level after the government reopened to check if we're going up or down. So if it managed to close below this on Friday, I would tell you that the other scenario, the one I just said, is more likely to happen. But since it got rejected from this area and closed above the swing level, then that's a bullish sign. All right, guys. So that's for the gold. Let me check the 4 hours real quick. So this 4 hour candle needs to close somewhat like this. Like we need to see an engulfing candle at this strong level, which is the swing level, because on Friday the 4-hour candle was too big to to flip and become an engulfing candle. So we have low volumes here, so we might get uh, a reversal pattern or a reversal candle from this level, so that we can maybe add to positions or enter at new prices. But for me, I still see gold is going up, and nothing else shows like that it might be weak, especially that, as I told you, it closed above the swing level. All right. Someone is asking, are you still interested on your monthly support trend line on DXY? Do you still want to see price reach there? You mean the 98.7? We might see that happen, yeah. I cannot just guarantee that it will keep going from here or it will retest. We do our analysis to get all the possible scenarios, so that if either one of them happens, we are ready to execute. Okay. We are still bullish on gold. All right, gold. We are all right. So we are buying GJ. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, guys. So just a quick reminder: whoever is not trading prop, and if you're trading your what's it called, the brokerage account, make sure to open with Tradin. Now we have a live broker. It's like great execution, lightning fast, very cheap. Especially the raw account. I switched my account from standard to raw, and it's amazing. The executions are great, and the spreads are great, and the commissions are also not so high. So if you're trading a brokerage account, make sure to switch to Tradin. So guys, I think that's it for today. We analyzed pretty much everything. We saw all the major pairs and gold, because I know that everyone is interested in gold. So have a great trading week. As always, trade responsibly, use stops, and trade what you see, not what you feel. All right? Take care of yourselves and trade in. See you. Bye bye.